Hey YouTube, it's Cutt here, and we're bringing you another one. I am a little late, but do I care? You know, I should have did this last night, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna do it tomorrow in the morning, but I didn't. Well, I knew I had to get my hair cut. It was a whole thing. Anyway, I'm here now. So today we're gonna talk about the Blue Beetle. I did see it. I did see yesterday. Before we get into the rankings, what I felt about it and all that jazz, before we get into all that, don't worry. Well, we're not even going to talk about that yet. We're going to talk about Patreon. Oh, yes. If you want to be a part of my Patreon, be a part of the Cutt Factory, I want you to go on ahead down below to the description and click the Patreon link. If you become official Patreon, which is the lowest tier, you get early access to all the tutorials and things I'm going to be doing weekly. And if you do the second tier, which is the all access Patreon, you get early access, but you also get some awesome wallpapers that come to you monthly. Okay. And that's going to be prepared for your desktop, your computer, and your phone case. Now let me show you real quick. It's going to flash real quick. This is the one that's for the month of August. Okay. And moving on. So not that you can't pause it, but I don't want to give you any ideas. Anyway, so you also have free digital packs if you get the VIP pack, and that is for vectors, brushes, 3D models. These are the assets and things that you'll get monthly. Okay, so stay tuned for that by going down to the description. I said stay tuned. What I'm saying is go on ahead and get yours. Okay, do not worry. Almost deleted something just now. Do not worry. This is a if I can get it right. Oh my gosh, come on. There we go. Don't worry. Oh my. You know, it's like it goes smoothly until it's not anymore. Oh my goodness. Okay, right there. Right there. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Don't worry, this is a non-spoiler review. I like surprises and I hope you do too. Oh my gosh, I'm having a heart attack today. All right, so let's get on into it. Oh, don't forget to like. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, push that notification button because we're going to keep bringing this stuff to you. I'm all over the place today. Oh my gosh. Oh, if you want this shirt, I want you to go to the link down below. Go on ahead to the Etsy shop. This is actually my second bestseller on my Etsy shop. My number one is The Wiz, but this is doing pretty good. So go on ahead and get your Speed Demon shirt while it's there. All right, now, so let's get into it. So, Blue Beetle. What's my ranking? I'm gonna have to say a 9 out of 10. It was shockingly amazing. Here's the thing: DC is not. It hasn't been giving since the 90s, and then Marvel came in and just squashed them, even though Marvel has been slacking on us as well. But DC just wasn't doing it. And granted, Flash was pretty good, to be honest. Like, everybody's hating on Flash. It really was pretty good. But this is like, I had complaints with Flash, although I like the movie. I don't have any complaints with this movie. So I'm like, if y'all can keep it up, you might get your people back. I'm just saying. You might get your people back. So what's the vibes? The vibes is giving a little bit of Spy Kids. Now, you know, it's weird because when we say Spy Kids now for movies, it's actually not a compliment. Yet, everyone loved the movie back in the day. So I guess we understand that it was good for its time. It was good for what it was at its time. But if your movie looks like Spy Kids in 2023, it's a problem. But in this case, I'm not saying it looks like Spy Kids. It just has some moments of Spy Kid energy. Just a little bit, and not in a bad way. Also, it's given very much Spider-Man. Not necessarily a particular movie, but more so Tom Holland. Oh, where am I pointing? Right here? It's easier this way. More so Tom Holland. Blue Beetle feels like a Spider-Man. I mean, he's basically he's a Beetle man. But in the sense of like the innocence and the youthfulness that Tom Holland has, specifically, but Peter Parker in general has this very youthful playfulness that I think Blue Beetle has. This kind of like, I was thrown into this. I didn't ask for this type of energy. I love it. And then it's given the Encanto. Now, the family in Blue Beetle is very much a unit. Not as chaotic as this family, but the stick togetherness and the cultural unity and love and connection that Encanto has deep down, I think was shown in this movie on the forefront. Okay. Now, should you see this in movie theater? You know what? I would say, yeah, I did see it in IMAX. I'm sure you don't need to see it in IMAX. I don't think it's going to do well in the theaters. I don't think people are going to care. But once this hits streaming, digital, all that stuff, I think this movie's going to do really well. Personally, if I wasn't doing a A-listing, because I have A-lister for AMC, if I didn't have that, I don't think I would have went to see this. If you're going to go take your kids or family to see this, because it's a very family movie, they would like it. But if I had to choose between this, Spider-Man, or Ninja Turtles, I would take them to see Ninja Turtles or Spider-Verse. I wouldn't probably take them to see this, although it's good. Unless they bag, then you would take them. You know what I mean? But go see it if you can, but you'll definitely love it when it comes to streaming. Okay. Now, do you need to watch the previous... Well, there's no previous movie. Do you need to read the comic books? I don't know. I never read the comic books. I didn't read many comic books in general. From what I know, when you do a new movie based upon the comic book, you want to present it to people who don't need to read the comic book to understand what's going on. So from what I understand, you don't need to, but I don't know. So you can tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, okay? Now, the director. Now, here we go now, because we're getting into names. And y'all know how I am with names. And I'm already bad with names. So Spanish names is even harder. Okay, so we're going to just bear with me. So Angel Manuel Soto, I think is his whole name. I looked into see any other movies that he's done. And he has directed other movies, but I didn't know him. And I don't like talking about the movies that other people have done that I've never seen before. I like to mention, or even at least know, even if I've never seen it, just I have to know what it is. I didn't know any of his movies. They did mostly look Spanish. So maybe I just never seen them. So let me know if you know this director and you see any of his movies, and let me know if they're good in the comments down below. But this, he did a fantastic job. Let's talk about the rest of the cast. All right. So we're not going to go through this whole name thing because y'all know how I am. However, I want to highlight number one, George Lopez. I never really, I can't say I never liked him or didn't like him. I just was like, meh with him. But in this movie, and he was in Spy Kids as well. He was in the third Spy Kids, but that's a whole nother thing. But was it? No, it wasn't Spy Kids he was in. He was in Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which was basically Spy Kids. Anyway, moving on. He was definitely the heart of this. Like, I don't know if it would have been the same movie without him. Like, he really, really, really pushed the movie. My favorite character is right here. This girl right here. Oh, I got her name right here. Where's it at? Belicia? Yeah, but I'm assuming Belicia. I really loved her. The reason she's kind of the reason I keep saying Encanto, because she's giving me what's the girl name? What's the main girl with the glasses on Encanto? She's giving me that vibe, and I really, really love it. And then the main guy, like, you really believed that he was going through, especially when the suit first attached his body, and it's like taking over his body and destroying his grandmother's or parents' house. I love that scene so much because he's acting very genuine, because that would have been me, like really panic mode, and the whole family was going through it. That's the best part of the whole movie. I love it. And they show it in the trailer, but it goes even deeper. they really are going through it in this movie. I love it. I love it. Let's talk about the villains. So for those who've been watching, y'all know I go through, there's like a 15 character list of villains, of different type of villains. So she would be the mastermind. Okay, there's kind of like 3 type of villains. We're going to talk about the second one next, but she would be the mastermind, but the corporation she owns is like personification evil. So like all the people that's like people that aren't making that type of money, aren't on that level in the neighborhoods, they see this corporation as an evil corporation, to be very honest. And to be very honest, it basically is because of her. Okay, I said her. Because of her. For real. But she did really good. Like, you really believed her character. So she's the mastermind. And then you have another villain who's basically her henchman. So that's the henchman. The henchmen you usually see more. You see them attacking more. They're fighting more. And the villain's usually in the background, basically never fighting. And that's it. If there's a henchman, the villain is not fighting. The main one, You ain't no scrapping up. They not going back and forth. They not doing all that. So the mastermind they not punching. But the henchmen, if they have a henchman, if they don't have a henchman, they punching. Watch out for the villain that don't got a henchman. Those are the villains you need to watch out for. Okay? And you really need to watch out if the main villain is the personification of evil, henchmen or no henchmen, watch out, because they are violent no matter what. But if they're just like a mastermind and they have a henchman, the mastermind ain't doing nothing. Just keep that in mind. They just not doing that. And it's shown very much here. I mean, look at him compared to her. I mean, come on. Like, what are we talking about? Okay. So what is the message? Oh my gosh. This movie made me cry. Now, for those who know me, I'm a crier. So it's not really like a statement when I say the movie made me cry, because a commercial would make me cry, literally. But the reason why this is significant is because I've seen like almost every movie that came out so far this year. And out of all the movies, the only movie that made me tear up is this movie, The Flash. And I think Spider-Verse, but I can't remember when. But I'm assuming Spider-Verse. That was it. No other movie put little tears in my eyes. And the fact that the two movies that made my eyes water was a DC movie. Shocking. But this movie is, so the point, I brought it up because the message is, you can overcome anything with family. This is very much about a family that it's not just about a family that sticks together, but it's about understanding that you can overcome it together. And although it's tough right now, it won't be tough forever. Something my grandma always said is, tomorrow is a better day. And I hold on to that so deeply, because it's like, today I might be going through it, but the next day is like, you ever had a day where you're like, oh my gosh, I lost my wallet, my keys fell down the drain, my car blew up. Like, what is going on today? But then you look at the next day and it's like, really chill. Like, you may be stressing still, but the day is not as crazy. Or you have one of those weeks, but then the next week it's just much calmer. It's because it's never just on your back the way you think it is. You might have a moment, like you might have a little moment, but it's going to be better tomorrow. And I believe in that. And that's what this movie is about. So it's really about animo. Animo means cheer up. It says animo so much in the movie. It means to cheer up, to be, yeah, you may feel down, but cheer up. You can do, I love this movie. Like that being the core of the movie, love it. Absolutely loved that. Okay, what did I not love? Because remember, I gave it a 9.10, so 9 out of 10. So what made me not give it that point? It had some cheesy moments, and I don't like cheesy moments. Okay, now understand what I mean. Okay, if I know this microphone will blow up if I touch it, right? That's a part of the premise. Okay? Then me doing this, I can't. That's just silly. Like, that's cheesy to me. Or like, oh, okay, I'm technically not touching that cheesiness. Or, oh, there's a cage around this that only can open up with a mechanics. Like, oh, let me try to do it with my hand. Stuff like that drives me crazy. Okay? There's not a lot of that, but there's a teeny bit of that where I was like that stuff brings me out the movie. I hate when movies do that. Come on now. Come on. You know what I think about now? Michael gets away with it because I'm wearing a Michael shirt. But Thriller, everybody loves Thriller. The zombies, they dancing, they killing it. They killing it. They killing it. The girl sitting there watching them perform the whole time. So then when they done, now granted, I would be watching too because it's like, yo, these zombies is killing. But come on. Now granted, we're going to let it slide because it's Thriller, but come on. So stuff like that. My anger almost made it go down to an 8 out of 10. But because of the message, keeps it at a 9. All right, moving on before I kill someone. All right. So where were we? Okay, cinematography. Nothing too crazy. However, there's some really cool lighting going throughout the film, especially near the end. There's a few areas where there's some really nice lighting, and you'll see a little bit later. I'm calling it the hood, but in the neighborhood, it's such a beautiful color temperature that I really love, and you'll see it in an image a little bit later on. Okay. What was that? That was where are we? Oh, animation and CGI. Really good. That was never a time really where I was kind of like, that doesn't look real. See, this is the thing. You know it's not real. You know none of that stuff is real. So there's already a part of your brain that says this is not real. So then it's like, how realistic can it be? So they did a really good job. There was never a time where I was like, that looked cheesy. Anytime the suit grew over his body or made a new weapon, really, really, really good. The best part, like I said, was when they was in the house and it was taking over his body. Man, that scene was good. And it looked really, really, really good. Okay. Music and score. So, I don't know about the music itself because there was some songs that like were songs we know that was done in Spanish, which I love. And side note, like a good percentage of the movie was in Spanish, which I really loved. Like not like half, but like a good amount, you know. And sometimes will come out and it just added more culture to the movie. But that's the only thing. But some of the songs were in Spanish, songs that you would know, like some like popular song, but in Spanish. I love it. So that was really, really cool. But the sound design, anytime like the mechanics were moving or any type of transformation or flying, all that sound design was really good. Really, really, really good. It was really, really good. Okay, let's go into world design. I'm gonna talk about 2 locations. Was it Palmyra City? Is that how you say it? Palmyra? Palmyra. Palmyra? Y'all know no names. Palmyra City, which I looked up is El Paso, Texas. So this is in Texas. Well, it's not real. It's a fake world, but it takes place in Texas. And it looks good, but it's not like so futuristic. It's not like Wakanda, which was beautiful, but it's kind of like, that's a very futuristic city. We ain't there yet. This was like, yeah, we could be there. We're not there, but it's nothing too weird. That's like, whoa, that's 1,000 years in the future. It wasn't anything too bad. Okay. But, you don't see much of the city. You do see the corporation, the most, excuse me, but there's nothing really like, I mean, you know, nothing too crazy about that. But the hood, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Now I understand the message of it is kind of like, look, they're over there and we're over here. Like they making the money. We not making the money. We're in struggle mode and they're not, which is true. But it was also something about like, which is the message in the movie, but we're together. So although, yeah, we don't have those lavish things and we're not, you know, we're struggling, but we are together and we're happy together at the very least, and there's some beauty there, and I think they depicted it in this shot alone. You can see how beautiful the culture is. So, but they in the hood, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that. I know what it look like, okay? And I really love that juxtaposition between the city and then where they are. Okay, moving on. Costume design. Because looking at this picture, you could kind of tell there's areas where, like, when it's CGI, it's like, wow, it's good. But when you can tell it's not CGI, you can kind of tell, like, what the Halloween costume is going on? Like, what is going on? It's a little plastic. You know, it looks good, but there's time, you know that's not metal. You know what I mean? Like, but the design of it, the look of it looks good. And it seems to be very accurate to the comic books from the images that I saw. So, hey, pretty good. Nothing to really complain about. Nothing to make the points go down. Just something to keep in mind. Okay. Oh, yes, there are 2 end credit scenes. There's one right after the movie, which is the most important. It gives you a little bit of a glimpse of the future. I'm just going to say that. And then there's a last credit scene where if you skip it, you're not going to feel like you're missing things. It's just like a nice homage. Some like, I still don't want to say what it is, but if you miss it, you're not missing anything. Whereas if you miss the mid end credit scene, you could miss something. So if you like, I gotta go, just watch that end credit and you'll be all right. And if you have time, go ahead and wait until the end of the credits. Okay, so yes, there is that. Okay, Will there be a second movie? I'm almost certain because I heard this is the first of the new phase of DC. So it's almost 100% that we'll see him again, either in another movie or if I think they're going to be coming all together, like like a, what do you call it? An Infinity Wars type of situation. But DC just, this doesn't belong here. This doesn't belong here. This doesn't belong here. Anyway, so what's the conclusion? Overall, really good movie. Like I said, I give it a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I had a great time watching it. It was fun in the theaters, but you can always wait until it hits streaming. It'll probably hit there in a week or two because you know how quickly stuff goes. Check it out. I think you really enjoy it. Your family, kids, all that, they're all going to love that because it's very family, it's a very family forward movie. It's very funny. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Okay. Next week, I'm going to go see Gran Turismo, which I'm kind of excited for because I'm not really into sports movies, but every time I see a sports movie, it's pretty good. So this one might be pretty good, and it looks like it's going to be good. So I'm looking forward to that. The rest of August has like nothing. September has like nothing. So hopefully there's some trailers that come out. I might, do something unique with some movies, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, I don't really know. Okay, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, push that notification because we're going to keep bringing this stuff to you. That's it. What are you doing? I know you're not about to leave. It's mad buttons down there. You ain't pushed on one of them. You better subscribe to my channel. See you soon.